It's the Morning Star Drive 117.8. You soaring up with sky, now's the time, don't delay. I'm sitting in my ride and it's time to fly. So let's realign, just listen and fill your mind.
Hey guys, how is it going? And welcome to the Morning Star Drive on 117.8. It is Friday, January 24th, and so happy for you joining us. We are ready to start another day together with the Lord. So subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on SoundCloud, and make sure to support us on Patreon. So today we have an exciting podcast for you. We have Until the End with Daniel Baker and the Wednesday Message Word Study. And of course, we have commentaries, updates, and news on what is happening around the world in this history today. All right, everyone, how are you doing? And yes, it is Friday. We're getting into our regular schedule once again. I hope you guys have enjoyed your week thus far. For a lot of us in the Asian countries, it is the Lunar New Year holidays coming up all next week. So basically, everyone's gone from Sunday or like even from Friday. People can be taken off for about, anywhere from a week to 10 days. So it's going to be pretty awesome, like downtime for me also. Also, don't forget we have a Q&A Thursday every single week. So get those questions ready. Send them to me whenever you can. And if you haven't yet, please leave a like and comment to build our community. So I am just super happy for everyone joining us every weekday on the Morning Star Drive. So let's get up and support each other each and every day. This week's Sunday message title is Destiny as Seen by God. So yes, everyone, we're kind of getting back into a normal scheduling since I'm back here in Korea right now. I can get my schedule back to normal. It's kind of cool though. Next week I will be, it's going to be the Lunar New Year in Korea. So that's going to be kind of cool. Having a great time just, what are we going to do? Well, for me, everyone is gone. Like everyone leaves even from like IMD. People are gone back to their hometowns, meeting with their families. And for me, I'm just going to be in Jinsan near Wonmyeongdong the entire time. So it should be a fun time for me also. You want to know something really crazy? Okay. So remember I was late for yesterday's podcast because I slept like over a day in my bedroom, right? So remember I told you that I did that podcast like 2:30. I finished around 3-ish, and I uploaded it and then went straight to bed. Like I slept and I slept. I woke up every once in a while, but I just slept, like kept sleeping. Okay. I eventually woke up again. It was like 2 a.m. and then 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And then eventually it just like, I was like ready to like supercharge at 5 a.m., which means that I was sleeping from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., which is like 25 hours. And here's the crazy part. I didn't even realize I slept through Wednesday service. I slept through it. I didn't even wait. I was just in my room the entire time. Like I have really thick curtains too, so the light doesn't even come in. But I lost an entire day from sleep. As crazy as that sounds, guys. An entire day I lost in sleep. So I was just like, man, that's so crazy that, I can actually be in my bed for like that many hours. So that was something that I'm kind of like, it's incredible. Maybe it has to do with my age that I needed that much time to, cover my sleep debt that I didn't get when I was in America. But man, that was wild. I'm very, very happy and thankful that I was able to get that sleep also. But it just wiped out an entire day of just me being in my bedroom, sleeping in the dark the entire time. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's the longest you guys have ever been in that point of sleep, getting up and, waking up and then going back to sleep, waking up, going back to sleep. Like that was what I went through and that was pretty crazy. But, yeah. So now I'm back into normal scheduling. I was almost even thinking to like call in sick because I was so tired. But after 25 hours of sleep, I thought to myself is like, there is no excuse. There is zero excuse for me to do whatever, to be like that kind of thing. So I was just like, I went into work and it was just really nice to be back and meet everyone and kind of get back into the atmosphere. You got to get back into it, right? And what's kind of crazy is so far, I don't have the 25 hours is my jet lag, but today I haven't had any jet lag, like zero. And I think like two things that I kept in mind is I was listening to a flight attendant, and they said one of the tricks that they had for not for getting over jet lag quickly is they don't eat in the plane. So for those 13 hours in the plane, I didn't eat anything. I just had water the entire time. So there's one thing that I think that was a really good thing. And then my first meal, it was pretty quite. It was interesting and like not eating at all. And my first meal was when I was in Korea, and it was my lunch when I came back, right? So that was kind of cool. And I think so far I haven't had any jet lag whatsoever. Like I haven't fell asleep during the middle of the day. It's already midday right now for me, getting close to dinner time. Haven't felt a single thing yet. So that's kind of cool. And that's one of the things that I was looking at. But yeah, that is kind of seems like one of the best tricks that I've seen so far to avoid jet lag. So maybe I'll do that in the same thing I'll do when I go over to other countries where I'm going to be hitting a lot of jet lag because of the time differences. So yeah, now I'm back in 316. 316. This is going to be the biggest 316. Well, we've only had 310. This will be the 10th 316, right? So 10-year anniversary. So 316, this is going to be the biggest ever, which is quite wild because, we're going to have the record attendance for the most foreigners coming to Korea. Like that's something that's kind of crazy. And most countries are going to be bringing record numbers. And to be honest, I have no idea how it started where everyone is all of a sudden starting like thinking that, we got to come to 316 for, this year, 2025. I don't know how it happened. I know, of course, it's Sunsteam's 80th birthday, and I know it's a 10-year anniversary of the Rapture, but I don't know I'm not sure if it's a rumor or where it started, where it's like everyone wants to come. I know like Taiwan has like 1,000 people coming. You're going to see close to that from Japan. You're going to see like record numbers coming from each country. And, it has created a huge storm of preparation. All the accommodations are booked around Warmingdong, Kumsan, Majeon, and now like people have to book hotels in Daejeon. Like that's like 40 minutes away. That's how crazy that is, right? So that is something that we are working on, and there's so much planning that needs to be done with all the buses and stuff like that too. To have this many people come, I'm not sure exactly how. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work, right? But one thing for sure is what Sunsteam wants this year. He says he wants a time of revival for Province. And I think there's something very, very necessary and needed. Like we got to bring ourselves back. And I think the best place to start is going to be the pre-dawn. And we're going to have this big pre-dawn condition, reviving the pre-dawn too. And I think that's what's going to begin and start ourselves back on track, is making sure that we revive from prayer, from the pre-dawn time. I remember when pre-dawn was everything. We'd have so many people coming to pre-dawn and just praying and getting themselves started for the day. And Sunsteam said in the message, prayer will be your lifeline. When you pray, your faith is alive. When you don't pray, you don't know whether your faith is alive or not. And that's a really powerful thing to understand, is you realize it is prayer that keeps you alive. Right? It's that, it's such a deep concept we've heard and we should understand, but it's been so difficult over the past couple of years for a lot of people that when you go to pre-dawn in a lot of churches, it's really dead. But what has to happen is we have to revive ourselves. And I think our goal is going to be from now all the way until 316, we've got to revive the pre-dawn once again. And I know it's difficult. I know it's hard to just restart or jumpstart something, but I do think it's something that is absolutely necessary. So I do hope that every nation, Western nation, whatnot, it's already starting to revive here in Korea. But I hope it's something that all of us will be able to realize even more deeply of how important it is that our evangelism is not going to work, our faith is not going to work. The things that we truly want to happen in this history, they're not going to work until we revive that pre-dawn first, right? And I think that's something that we're going to have to really get on top of, right? So, those guys out there, let's revive the pre-dawn time. It's going to be such an important event for all of us. And I hope that we can really have that mentality to revive a pre-dawn, to do it well, to do it powerfully. For me, even for me, like the pre-dawn, it used to be so big for me. I would never, ever miss it. But, just over the last couple of years, I've kind of become a little bit more self-centered. That, oh, I got to worry about my health. I got to worry about this. I got to worry about that. Oh, look what I did here. Oh, it's okay not to go kind of thing every once in a while. And I realize is like, man, I've just lost that fire. And because of that, I've lost a lot more when it comes to my faith and when it comes to me feeling that, being spiritual and feeling what I'm missing, feeling the things that I should be feeling and such too. So that is something that I'm really, really praying and hoping for even more. Right? So I hope, guys, that we can have that mentality and that mindset that we once again reignite the pre-dawn again. It's got to happen, guys. We've got to reignite the pre-dawn, and it's got to be something that all of us will get our hearts and minds to really become that much more closer to you too. Closer to God, right? And the Holy Trinity. So let's revive, guys. Revive is the name of 2025. We've got to revive head leaders and leaders. We've got to revive our churches even more. And I have a lot of deep and high expectations for all the churches to really get back on track to where we should really be. All right. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on. I'm very thankful right now that I can get back into the podcasting. Because it was so busy. Like, guys, it was crazy busy during my time in America during the tour. You guys can tell that I was trying to find different ways so that I wouldn't be going as crazy. Because think about it, guys. I was, just finding the time to do the pre-dawn was a very, very, not the pre-dawn, sorry, to do my podcast, very, very difficult. And I'm so thankful that many people stepped up and we had a time of giving glory to God by giving testimonies and such. I thought that was awesome and such a great thing for us to do. So, I'm still looking forward to many other people giving their testimonies that they can give on this podcast also. All right. So yes, everyone, let's revive our spirits, revive our faith, and get ourselves back to where we should be in that normal state of spirituality too. So yeah. And so I got home and now my home is basically done. Meaning I basically have everything that I need here in my house. Everything. I got my what do you call it? I got a small kitchen table, so I have a place to eat, even though I don't really eat at home. I just have a lot of things that I didn't have before. I had a good friend of mine that was able to, get those orders in while I was gone and set up my place even better. And now I have all this stuff, and I'm super thankful and grateful that I'm able to have a place now that is kind of fully equipped. The only thing I'm kind of missing at this moment is going to be, I have this really small room. I need a table, like a table to do my work on, because I find that to be a very difficult thing for me right now because I do have I'm only working from my coffee table, which is, coffee tables are lower and you can't really, it's lower. You can't really get to, it's not comfortable for you to sit on a sofa and use a coffee table, which is much lower, and you can't really study that well from it. So I really need a place that I can start working better too. So I'm looking to make sure that I get that done also. Right? So guys, thank you so much also for those of you guys who were praying during the tour that I had in America. Man, it was such an amazing tour. And to give you some things of how much Sunstein was really focused on America at that time. The very, very first tour, the first region I stopped in was LA, and it was awesome. And I had zero expectations. All I knew is I was there to kind of fulfill the purpose that Sunstein wanted. We got to help managing and seeing how people are doing and such. And I met with people, I had good talks with people. And at the end of the week, I was just writing a report on this, on the church. We took a picture. And then we also, there's some people who are just struggling in certain areas. We sent letters out and stuff like that too. And within a day, we got, I didn't know Sunstein was going to respond that well and how much Sunstein's eyes were on America. But right away, literally right away, he responded to every single letter. Every single letter. And he was not only doing that, but he wrote a letter for the church. He signed their photo, and then he even did this drawing for American Providence in general, where he even drew an eagle and colored it golden, right? I was like thinking to myself, where did he get that from? But obviously, probably the lawyers brought the extra stuff in. But that was truly, truly moving and inspiring, and it kind of set the tone for the rest of the tour. And just after seeing that, it was just really amazing to see how much God was working with everyone there. Like, just to see how amazing, it was really, truly amazing. It's something that I thought that was, that we could really look at and say, yeah, this is, that God's eyes were really on America at that time. And I even told you guys too that in the middle of the tour, the wildfire started in California. Sunseam responded to that letter. And he said that, he saw it on TV. He prayed for it already. And it's time for us to pray about it too. So that's something that's really, really important also. So even then, I looked at that and I just thought it was so amazing and awesome. I really, really did. And I was thankful to God that we were able to, I was just thankful to God that we're really, really able to, be able to go through a tour and just to feel how much Sunsteam was really supporting that tour too. And it makes me look forward to, making me feel and having the confidence that when I go to another country, that I'll be able to do the exact same thing also. All right. Either way. So yeah, that's something that I really wanted to share and just give glory and thanksgiving to God for such a wonderful trip. It was just awesome from the beginning to the very end. And, now it's kind of on that high. I was saying when I first got back is I got to get used to going back to normal life, right? Normal, back to the same baseline I'm usually at. I'm not going to be meeting people all day and stuff like that too, but it's going to be much more stable and better. And this is why I'm able to do a lot more recordings, more thoughtful recordings too, and be able to make sure that everyone, that everyone out there is doing such an amazing and awesome, that can receive a good podcast, right? And huge thank you to all those people who are supporting on Patreon. Super thankful that in January, so many people were able to come onto Patreon again. And that is something that I am very grateful and thankful for you guys. As you guys know, there's a lot of material on there, from word studies to lectures, like 30 lessons lectures, plus 30 lessons lecture training. So I am, and it's, if you get onto Patreon, the cheapest is $3 a month, which is super cheap. You get Netflix and everything else, but you're supporting this channel and the Rebel Pastor channel at the same time. And I hope it's something that you guys will really be able to, I'm just very grateful and thankful for all your help. So if you have any other questions or anything else, please let me know. Oh, I got some great news too. Sunseam, the online church that they're building here right now in Korea, Sunseam gave it a name. There's a name for the online church. And Sunseam said in English, he said, New World. So when we heard this, we're like going, oh, it can sound a little bit controversial, like the New World Order, like some type of conspiracy or something like that. However, if we put a word next to it, like New World Ministries, New World Outreach, New World Church, online church, or something along that line, it sounds much better. And then, of course, you put a Bible verse underneath it saying that, we are new creations or whatever it is. I think that will be something that we're expecting to have this church online and ready for the end of this year. So definitely we need to get an English online church going too. And that is something that I'm really, really hoping for, because it's something that we really have. I really believe that we can work on together. Right? So we definitely want to make this online church ready for the English world too. I think that would be awesome, but I'm hoping that all of us will really be able to get ourselves to, we can really pray for this, support it well, so that we can have a good online church, an online presence in the English world, so there can be many newcomers from countries that we've never had before, but they can become members through this church too. Either way. All right. So there it is, guys. That is segment number 1 for today. Of course, next we do have the Wednesday Message Word Study, which we haven't done in a long time. And of course, after that, we'll have Until the End with Daniel Baker. All right. So without further ado, let's get into the first music break of the day.
lose this love, that love will last forever. And as much as I know you're the best thing in my life, I will always tell you that I love you every time. It's 1978. This feeling is so great. The word you preach amazes me. But why do I feel this fate? It's 1978. This feeling is so great. The word you preach amazes me. But why do I feel this fate? People believe in their fantasies but not God, and that's the problem. That's why they say that it's too hard. No matter how blazing your love may be, our meetings and conversations are the same, you see. You can't let this love go to waste, doing the same things day to day. We're at the same place. Let's speak with hope about new things and the things you have done. I want to get closer to you, I want to give you my love. If you do not enjoy this love, it will disappear. When your thoughts are hard changes, he will take away your blessing. Gotta find your form, find your mission, and just find your blessings. Let's just get back to the old days and find out the temptation. I wanna get to know you, I want to show you that I can give you the word in many places, many spaces. I have seen a lot of people come and go. You're gonna make it, do your absolute best to reach the final destination. Yeah, it's 1978. This feeling is so great. The word you preach amazes me. Why do I feel this fate? It's 1978. This feeling is so great. The word you preach amazes me. Why do I feel this fate? Can I get to know you? I just wanna know you. Can I get to know you? I just wanna know you. Can I get to know you? I just wanna know you. Can I get to know you? I just wanna know you.
All right, so let's get into today's Wednesday message word study. Yes, I have not done this in a long time, and yeah, I know many people were missing out on this, but yes, I'm getting back into it. Even though I missed the Wednesday service, I did go over the message, and I did my service the next day, and the message was faith of your responsibilities, right? So I hope it's it's right in tune with this week's message, and it was very interesting because there's two topics, and the one topic that I was really wondering about is when Sunseem kept talking a lot about idol worship. And I thought to myself, is there something that Sunseem was experiencing, something that happened, while he was, while he's been over there? Like, what was there something that happened where Sunseem is talking about, people who are worshiping idols and such? So I don't know. It really feels like maybe he experienced this by talking to someone. Or maybe it's something that he went through that this becomes a big topic, or maybe it's something he saw on TV, or maybe it's going to be something that we're going to see a judgment happening sometime soon in the world. I don't know. It could be something like that too, right? So looking forward to seeing looking forward to kind of just understanding why Sunseem talks so much about idol worship. Okay, so let's get into a little bit more of the Wednesday message. This one part I liked. It says, in living a life of faith too, things happen only when you take action. Things happen when you are working hard, and things do not happen when you are doing nothing. If you do not act on your life of faith, you will wonder, isn't it okay to not live a life of faith? If I want to maintain my life of faith, must I take action on it every day, like eating, working, sleeping, and washing daily? And I looked at this and I said, man, there were some times during the time of the pandemic when I was really kind of struggling of just getting my faith to where it should be. I was wondering that too. Sometimes you just wonder, like, man, do you really need to live a life of faith? And since you've said it before, you actually don't need to live a life of faith while you're on this earth. Because many people become successful. Many people are doing amazing and awesome things without faith at all. So when you think about it, just living on this earth, you don't need faith. You don't. Where faith really comes in is the key part of faith is the life after you live here, which is that important. And on top of that, we have to understand is when you have faith, you're not only going to be blessed in the afterlife, but you're going to be blessed even more when you're living in this world right now too. And, one thing I did notice about myself is when you're not maintaining your faith, you become very physical, right? The things that you think about when it comes to finances, when it comes to relationships and all this, you become way more physical. And you start to think in a physical way that when you were spiritual, there's no way you would think like that at all, right? So that was something I thought that was very cool and very interesting also. To think about that too, because I'm like, yeah, I've been through that. Another part I like from the message says, if you call out to God, pray and take action, your heart and thoughts are immediately filled with grace. I think that's something that I kind of miss sometimes too. Just calling out to God, and then I pray, take action, and then I'm just immediately filled with that grace. And the message is like, God is always shining the light of grace upon us like the sun. And grace, as we know it from biblical terms, it's an undeserved gift. Not a single one of us deserved it, but because of love, we're able to receive salvation. And this grace is so powerful. I look at that and I say, man, every time we sin, every time we do wicked things, every time we don't do what is right, but God's grace is always there. He loves us so much that regardless of what we went through, is just we're loved by God. And it reminded me of that when Pre-Pastor Wanchon was talking about that incident with his mom, when he told his mom he didn't like her and she just hugged him and said, I love you. And you realize that's the love you wanted, unconditional. And this is the unconditional love of God. He wants all of us to be saved. We gotta hold on, right? Doesn't matter who you are. We have to be those that take actions towards God, right? And if we don't take action, we kind of start to lose hope. So I hope it's something that we can realize even more coming from that message too, right? Also, this part here says, your faith means, what does it mean to have your own faith? It means your faith will turn out according to what you think, how you worship, and what you do. So what does it mean, your faith? It literally means that. What is your faith like? What do you think when it comes to your faith? How do you worship when it comes to, are you like worshiping powerfully? What do you do what kind of faith do you have by what you do? So I thought that was a very powerful statement there too. And there's another thing here is when it talks about sin. Anything that goes against God's will is a sin, right? And that means anyone who goes against God's will, anyone they are perpetrators, they're going to be punished. And we need to look at ourselves too. In our everyday life, our personal daily life faith, what are the things that we are doing that is against God's will, right? That's part of the reasons we need to revive our spirits once again, right? Even for myself, sometimes I look at some of the sins that I do, and sometimes it becomes trivial to me when I'm thinking too physically. You know what I mean? Trivial meaning like I don't think it's as bad as I really think it is, right? Where we have to realize it is the Almighty God that's watching us. And He's rewarding us according to what we've done, right? He's ruling over all things. And that's why if we worship God, we will be rewarded according to what we do. And I think that is another powerful statement that was given. This is one part here that was really interesting about Paul. Remember that part about Paul? And it gives us insight into why Paul thought the way he did. It said, Apostle Paul thought God predestines everything and carries it out because he did not have his personal life since he was living in prison due to being persecuted during the time of tribulation. He lived 100% in faith, and that's why he said, God and the Lord are guiding me in everything. And we have to understand what that means and realize it, right? What does that mean when Sansim says that? Paul's thoughts about God predestining everything, so which means that it is, like when you look at the overall thing that Paul wrote that everything is absolutely predestined. But the reason he wrote it that way and believes it that way, because that's the way he lived. He was in prison, he had no personal life. It was just him and God, right? Where we're living a little bit differently, where we do have a personal life. We do have personal responsibility. It's a little bit different where Paul's point of view, he's coming from that perspective where there is no personal life and it's just him and God, everything 100%. Where we're learning that, we are trusting in God. But it's a little bit different from Paul because we do have a personal life. God's not saying don't have a personal life, but we do have one. And there's a lot of things that are up to us in what we do, and God is rewarding us according to what we do. So I found that to be very interesting. And then this part here, when it comes to the work of your daily life, you yourself must do them even if God does not stay next to you and do them with you. Even if God doesn't help and you do them and doesn't help you and do them with you, and even if the Holy Spirit doesn't grab hold of the tool and do the work with you, you yourself must do them because they are your work, right? It's our work that we need to do, right? Even if God and the Holy Spirit don't do it together with us, we got to do it. God and the Holy Spirit doesn't need to take our jaws and make us chew. That's our responsibility, right? So, for us, whether it's in church, whether we're at home in Providence or like going to our jobs, the work, right? We have to do them. Interesting thing, the message says, do them without overstepping boundaries. Like, why were we here? What's the purpose, right? Don't start doing other work when you were told to do one work, right? It's kind of like for me too. One of the things I had to keep my mind entrusted in was, I am here to do the work that God has entrusted me with. I will not go overboard, right? I'm not going to do it things that I wasn't asked to do, right? So we have to do it without invading other people's territories. So everyone, be faithful to your work. And all of us have been given work. We've been entrusted with it according to our individuality and our talents. And I think that's a very, very important thing that all of us have to really get inside of our heads too. Okay, so there it is, guys. That is the Wednesday message word study. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or comments or things you want to add, go ahead, put in the comments below. All right, so there it is. That is segment 2 for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And of course, last but not least, we have Until the End with Daniel Baker. So let's move first into the last music break of the day.
welcome back to the Do It Until the End podcast. I hope every single person listening to this podcast segment right now is having an amazing week with the Trinity. Let's have an amazing podcast segment together. Now, this week's message was absolutely amazing. This week was talking about a lecture that I love, and it's the basis of our life. It's called predestination or predetermination. And wow, this week's message was absolutely amazing. Just off the top of my head, a couple parts that I really enjoyed was how we actually, it kind of like felt like a little bit more fleshed out version of the predestination lecture, and how the path is predestined, right? The path to heaven, the path to hell. And the path to hell is very wide and a lot of people go there. And the path to heaven is very cramped and it's very narrow and not many people walk that path. Yeah. And it's our decision to actually walk which path we're going to take, right? And it's not predestined in the way where, if we just stand still, we're going to go this way because God predestined me to do this. No, God gave us free will to do the things that we do. And with this free will, the beautiful thing with this free will is if we use this free will to love the Trinity, love God, and really put a lot of time and effort into our relationship with God, at the level of the top level, then God will bless us and God will put us on and we will walk the path to heaven, right? Which is such an amazing concept. And even if we gain salvation, right? If we do not take action, which is the basis of how we really move forward in our lives, if we don't take action, then we can, unfortunately, go back, take the different path. And if we stop and things don't work out, it remains at the same spot. We don't progress forward. Our life of faith is lived and improved only when we're acting upon it. If we're improving our faith, if we actually put time and effort and put action into our faith. And just like everything in the world, if we do not take action, it does not improve. It does not become ideal. Now, faith is such an important aspect. We need to take action on daily. And this is something that I've been working towards and trying to push myself towards, right? And it's very interesting because a lot of actions within your life, if you want to become a person I want to become a person that works out every day, or I want to become a person that communicates better, or I want to become a person that, is more social, right? Each actions you take every day is one vote towards the person you want to be. And those votes tally up, and after 10, 20, 100 days, if you've done this action a ton of times and you've really worked towards that, then you become that person, right? And this can be the opposite way too, right? For your bad habits or your bad parts of your character. If you've done this action 100 times, then it might take, you have to go the opposite 100 times to really make sure that you erase that part of your character. So all of your actions, to become the person you want to be, all of your actions are much more important. Yeah, so our actions, very important. And so one of the things I'm going to do, you remember those man cave episodes we did? Where we did the podcast episodes of the men in Providence talking about. And I was in a couple episodes. I had a really good time recording these, but I want to see, have I really improved those aspects of my faith? And just to be honest, other aspects, right? And I'm really curious, how much did I grow? right? And we should all have that kind of way of making sure that we can see how much we're growing within the years. Because if we just leave time to Mother Nature and to God, and we don't really look back and try to improve, then yeah, we're just making the same mistakes in our life. And I really don't want to do that. And I trying so deeply hard to improve. God, I hope you can see that. I hope you can see that I'm trying. Oh. Yeah, so that's all I have for you guys today. I'll get back to you and see like what the improvements I've had within the Man Cave episodes and after the Man Cave episodes, of course. And I'll get back to you probably next episode, next Friday. And I hope that everyone has an amazing rest of the week with the Trinity. To everyone who is going until the end, let's walk this path together. Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.
It's the Morning Star Drive 117.8. You soaring up with sky, now's the time, don't delay. I'm sitting in my ride and it's time to fly. So let's realign, just listen and fill your mind.
I'm burning with desire and the passion. Nobody can stop me when I'm like this. I got my head in the zone, you know. I'm on the Morning Star Drive, you know. I'm burning with desire and the passion. Nobody can stop me when I'm like this. I got my head in the zone, you know. I'm on the Morning Star Drive, you know.